What's up, guys? There's been some serious thunder going on around here, so I thought I might as well educate you guys on how to accurately predict, or mostly accurately predict, when the thunder is going to happen after lightning. So it takes approximately No, I guess not. Sorry, didn't have enough time to count then. But it takes approximately 5 seconds. So 5, 1, Mississippi. 2, for sound to travel about a mile. So every 5 Mississippis, 5 seconds, the sound would have gone about a mile. So if it takes 15 seconds for there to be thunder after lightning strikes, after the big flash, it means it's probably about 3 miles away. So usually you'll see, let me wait for an example, where you'll see right there. Did you see how it went? Flash, flash. Right there, yeah, I see. See right there, flash, flash. When it does that, oh my god, it's doing it a lot. Oh my god, there's so much thunder. I mean, lightning. And no thunder, actually, probably because they're quite far away. And they're probably slightly quieter than most. That one's going to be loud. Because they're the wind. Anyways, when you see flash, flash, instead of just flash, and usually the flash, flash is meaning that it's going to be a more rolling thunder, and more of a prolonged thunder, so a longer one. And when it's just one flash, it usually means that it's gonna be just like one boom, boom, boom. Yeah, great sound effects, I know. Also, if it's extremely bright, and usually when it is extremely bright, like just then, and it's one flash, when it's extremely bright, it's usually just one flash. That means it's a lot closer. And it's going to be a lot louder. So, let's just see if we can accurately predict them. They're going off so much that it might be hard to figure out which thunder correlates with which lightning strike. But let's see. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi, Mississippi 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, Mississippi 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi. Two miles away, I think. It's so hard to tell because there's so many going off. One Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Okay. Yeah, I don't know which one's correlated with which. See if you can tell. 1 Mississippi, Mississippi 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 12 12. Sorry. These are about 3 miles away, even though they're quite bright. This one's going to be long and rolling. Or there'll be one coming up. So you saw a big flash, but it flashed multiple times. I don't know, maybe I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But this has worked for a long time. It usually doesn't flash this often. I want to see if we can record a huge thundery one. Or one that starts out kind of soft and then gets really loud. And this guy's car alarm, you can see his lights on right now. Right there. You see, I just put my finger over them. And they just went out too. But sometimes when it's really loud, the guy's car alarm goes off. And he turns them off right away, I think. Because he must know that there's going to be multiple, so he just has his keys next to him. Hopefully this isn't completely boring. I wish I could take advantage of this and like record some ambient noise and like rain noises for people to fall asleep to. But probably have to open my window to get good audio. This one's gonna be loud. Right about now. Nope, here we go. It's dangerous to be driving now. The camera's not really picking it up very well, but you can kind of see it. The part where it's really lit up from the street light. You can see movement. But that's just water flowing down the gosh dang it. I just thought of the word. What's it called? The sidewalk meets the street. The curb. No, it's the sidewalk. The gutters, yeah. Down the gutter. And, yeah, man, it's like a river. And I think it's on both sides. It's raining pretty hard. There must be like a ton of rain clouds. I can't really tell because it's nighttime. I mean, a ton of rain clouds that have been over the ocean and some lakes, probably mostly the ocean. I've collected some evaporated water from the oceans and lakes, and it fills up with water. Once there's enough in there, it comes down as rain. And man, some big clouds. You know, I find it interesting how fast clouds actually move, depending on how windy it is. And even when it's not windy, you can look up at night and it's not completely cloudy, it's just mildly cloudy, and you can pinpoint a star in your sky. And you know it's actually a star instead of a plane or a helicopter, because stars are just plain white, and they might twinkle a little bit, flash a little bit, but it will just be plain white. When it's a plane, you can see that there's usually like a red or blue light with it, and it flashes on and off sometimes. Anyways, if you pinpoint a star and you stare at it, it looks like it's moving, but if it is actually a star and you're not just looking at a plane, it's actually not moving, and it's the clouds moving. So it looks like the star is moving. Oh my god, this one's gonna be loud. That's what I was saying with rolling. Look how long that thunder is. You hear my house shake? Okay. So the star will look like it's moving because the clouds are moving over it, and it's going behind the clouds sometimes. Really, it's just the clouds going over the star. I think that's interesting, how it tricks your mind. I'm only 16 and don't really know very much about life, but I like still grasping onto the childish wonder that we all end up losing if we don't hold on to it. You know, just thinking, why'd you see that one? Just thinking, like, learning something new, just being able to say, whoa, that's crazy. And not being, and like, accepting the fact that you can't comprehend it, but really wanting to understand it. If that makes any sense. I like that I still have that childish wonder sometimes. Depending on when you watch this video, you might actually have seen it and just not known it. But not last week, but the week before, and the week before that, so those 2 weeks, you could see the International Space Station flying over the Earth, and because it goes around the, so yes, it goes around the world, it orbits the world, but it changes its axis, I guess you could say, that it spins around it just mildly throughout the year. So at a certain point, you can only see it at night in, say, Europe, and then a portion of the year you can only see it in the United States and etc. But you could see it at night, and then me and my mom went out and we saw it a couple times, and it was a pretty surreal experience. It was just it was a lot brighter than any of the stars in the sky. And I live in the United States, in the middle of the, suburbs, right? So, because of all the light pollution, you can't see all the stars you can in farms and stuff like that. But, man, it was a lot brighter than any of the stars in the sky, and it was moving really fast. That one's gonna be loud. Like, not extremely fast, but it took like 2 minutes or less to go from one side of the sky to the other. And it was really cool. The reason you could see it was because light was reflecting off of the solar panels up there. But just knowing that there was people in that, it made me feel proud to be human, I guess. Well, if you're still around right now and you're still listening, thank you. And I hope I'm not just boring, and I'm actually... Well, I guess I probably am kind of boring. But hopefully you learned something. And enjoyed the light show. Yeah. I'll just keep recording until I don't have anything else I want to say. Think of. But yeah, so with International Space Station, it rotates around the Earth, I think, and I might be wrong with the numbers, but like 6 times a day. So if it was nighttime all the time, you'd be able to see it 6 times a day. But because it's during the day that it goes, it could be visible for a good portion of the time that it does go around the Earth, you usually can't see it. Look up, if you're interested, on Google or Bing. You can just be nice to Bing and maybe use it a couple times. But look up, when can you see International Space Station in whatever country or state you live. It's not actually, I was about to say it's a one-in-a-lifetime experience, but it's not. It's definitely a once-a-year experience that I want to start making a tradition. I guess another time that I felt childlike wonder and awe and amazement was last year, yeah, when the eclipse came around. The eclipse rotates the Earth. No, and the eclipse happened. It's 2019, by the way, if you're in a different year. And when in school they gave us all glasses, and actually still have those glasses right next to me on my shelf. But they gave us glasses to wear. They were so dark you couldn't see through them unless you looked directly at a light bulb. You could barely see the light. But that's why they worked so well with the eclipse, because you could look at the sun and it wouldn't harm your eyes. But yeah, when I saw the eclipse, man, it was awesome. It was really cool. I tried to absorb everything I saw. Because weirdly enough, people say the eclipse is a one-in-a-lifetime, twice-in-a-lifetime experience. But really, it happens quite often. But it's most of the time in places where you don't live. So I think it'd be really cool to be a scientist who studies them and gets to travel around, and sometimes just in the middle of the ocean. And that's, if you have to be there, and that's the only place you can be to see the eclipse at certain times during the century. And I think that'd be really cool. Anyways, but we didn't have a full eclipse where I am. It was just a partial, so it looked like the sun turned into the moon almost, when it's either waxing or waning. Not full. Obviously, why am I saying that? Sorry. But what was really cool about it was You know how when this light shines through leaves onto sidewalk and there's little circles on the ground, kind of overlay on themselves? Well, there was crescents on the ground, and I thought it was really cool. The rain has really calmed down. So is the thunder. Is the storm passed over, you think? Probably. Oh, partially. But man, there's still tons of water running down the gutters. I learned something interesting a couple days ago, thanks to the internet. You know, why your muscles feel sore. So, when you exercise, specifically intense exercises like weightlifting and things like that, your muscles both have to tense and be stretched out. So, for example, when you're using a dumbbell, you bring it up, and then when you bring it back down, your muscles are stretched out. You can do this with your arm, and you'll see what I'm saying. And so they're stretched out and flexed, and when that happens, it causes very small little micro tears in the muscles that have to heal. And when they heal back bigger and stronger. That's why you gain muscle. But since there's little small micro tears in your muscles, that's why your muscles hurt days after you've exercised. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I already knew that like your muscles teared when you exercised and exerted yourself, but I thought that was really interesting. Okay, well, if you're still around, which you probably aren't, and you probably skipped to this point, hi. Not very much thunder whatsoever anymore. Very light rain. Here, let me think of a good question I've been thinking about for you to put down in the comments. Because, you gotta have comments on your video for it to become more popular and be recommended to people and stuff like that. So, instead of saying, hey, post your age down below, and hey, spell out lightning down below, and I'll choose one of you guys for a drawing for an iPhone 7, even though that's an old iPhone XR, and make sure to like the video so you're qualified to get the XR, like many of the douche tubers out there. I know, is douche tuber copyrighted by... No, I don't think it is. Okay. How about, here's a good question. I've been thinking about this. Since global warming's been going on for way too long, and we're just starting to do things about it. Not saying that people didn't know about it and people weren't trying, but those were scientists and a very small group of people. And I just wish, our parents' generation, our grandparents' generation, more accepting and understood, more educated on climate change, because if they had acted back then and started switching over to renewables, then, man, we'd be at such a better point. than we are today. There's a stud. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little off topic, but I want to say this before I ask you the question. There was a study done in 2007 saying that we only had about 12 years left to reverse climate change, or it'd be too late. And it's 2019 right now, and we've done diddly squat. I try not to get frustrated and rant about it, but it's just ridiculous. It's so frustrating because people in our generation, Generation Z, have to deal with all this crap, and it's just ridiculous. So I'm thinking about this, and I have this fun question and thought experiment to do. If we were to have a big meeting, a planet meeting, a planet organization, where we make huge decisions about what to do for the planet in the state it is now, what species would you choose to be part of the planetary, what should I call it? The planetary board. Like, what species do you think would be, or are intelligent enough to where if they had language, we would choose them to represent their species, to represent all the other animals out there. And don't only think about mammals, think about reptiles and birds and insects too, because, people say, the world's run by humans. Well, yes, but technically the world is really run by, the world has really been taken over and is run by insects. And if you really think about it, bacteria. The world is definitely run by bacteria. Well, I hope you have a good day, and if you're listening to this past 9 o'clock, hope you sleep well. We'll see you guys all later. I haven't posted much on this channel, but most of them have been trying to be funny and meany, but hope you enjoyed this. If you did, smash that like button, boys.